Right now we're looking at Adobe Premiere, and there was a request that came in for some still images to put in the newspaper. And I did not have a still camera out there at the game. This was on Friday, October 12th, but I did have two video cameras, and one of the video cameras was a HD 1080 camera for shooting video to go to the Jumbotron. I also had a 4K camera that is the Panasonic FZ1000, so that's the Frank Zebra 1000, and shot this 4K video. And what I'm going to do is show you how to get a still image and export it from Adobe Premiere. So I have my keyboard shortcut set to the Final Cut 7 shortcuts. So with that, I can do Command plus and minus to kind of zoom in and zoom out. And what I'm looking for is good eye contact here, good smile. I wish I would have tilted up a little bit. It's not the end of the world. Let's see what we have here. So then they break. So I just want that headroom right up here at the top to be a little bit higher. So this can be cropped if need be, cropped or perhaps centered. So what I'm going to do is hit B as in boy for the razor blade tool. That's going to give me the razor blade tool. And then I'm going to go one frame to the right by pressing the right arrow. And then I'm going to zoom in a little bit more so I can see what's happening here, and hit the razor blade tool again. Go back to A for arrow key. You can use these as well over here. So here's the arrow, then here's the razor blade. I'm going to take this right here, and I am going to put an out point by hitting O. I'm going to press up to go back here to put an in point. I have an in and an out point right now. I can do 2 frames of video. That's fine if I have it like this. It just export 2 different images, and then I could see which one is sharper. And now I'm going to go to File, and then to Export Media. And then from here, what I'm going to do is to change this setting to, we should have a JPEG right here, which is nice. It shows me the size. So this is 3840 by 2160. So this is not 1920 by 1080 HD. This is actually 4K, which is technically an 8 megapixel image that's going to come out. And this is at a quality of 100%, which is good. And I want to say where I want to save this thing. I'm going to put it on the desktop, and I'm going to call it Football Still Image October 12th. Mainer. Everything I have is going to be Mainer. That's like our football team, and I clearly can't spell here. So one of my classroom rules is if I do something wrong, tell me, right? So I'm going to say save. That's going to change where it's going to. And I just want to look through real quick just to see if everything's, so it's 100% on the quality. That's great. It's going to be exporting the in and out. And it says there's 2 frames over here. So I'm going to say export. And that took forever. That was easy. And then come over here, and I've got these 2 still images. And I'm not sure how big they're going to be in terms of megabytes, but what I can do is actually click on it and hit Command I. It's going to show me the information about it. So this is a 5 megabit image. This right here is a 5 megabit image, which is pretty cool. So that right there is done. For a stretch goal, I'm going to show you how to do the 1080 clip. So I'm going to say New Sequence. And then I'm just going to say OK, because it's going to change the sequence to the settings of the first video that I import. So what I'm going to do next is go to File. I'm going to say Import. And then what I'm going to look for here is not the FZ1000 4K. I'm going to look for the 1080 footage right here. And I am going to say Import. And you see it importing here, and it's going to give me an error. The error basically says, bruh. So this is all the different files that couldn't be imported because they're like thumbnails. They're all the things that the camera sets up in its processing. I'm just going to say OK, because I'm not worried about that. What I do like is this popped up right here. This popped up right here. These are all the video clips that was actually the video running to the Jumbotron at the game. So this is all 1080 high definition. And it may ask me about changing. Okay, this clip does not match the sequence settings. Change sequence to match. Yes, we want to change it to match. So then I come here, And also, we have some good video here. And I can play it a little bit so we can kind of see. And I'm hearing some audio in the headphones. So we're going to do the same thing again. We're going to hit B for razor blade. Hit the razor blade right here. I'm going to go to the right 1 frame. I'm going to zoom in. And if you heard that slam in the background, my doorstop appears to have floated and is no longer where it should be. So we can hear the door slamming in the background. Okay, so I got this set up. And then if you remember, what do we do next? File, export. And it's still generating the peak files down here in the bottom right-hand corner. So it's running just a little bit slow because it's not happy. I don't want to enable dictation. I'm going to try one more time. Export media. Okay, it's going to let me do it. So I got JPEG, matches the sequence, 1920 by 1080 right here, which this is high definition. What do we do next? We change where it's saving to because we want to know where this file is going. So this is football picture. Usually I say still, like still image. Football still, October 12th. I'll just say 1080 on it. So say save, quality's at 100. I'm going to say export. So that thing flew out. That was easy. And then we should see it pop up over here. So same thing, we got 2 images. So if I go to bring up these images, let's see what they look like. So that's actually high definition, 2 megapixel. So some of the cameras we shoot on are like 20 megapixel. Most iPhones have really high pixels as well. But if I go and look at the information on it, it says it's only 1.3 megabytes. So the 4K images are clearly going to be higher quality. In terms of the focus here, it's a little bit hard to stick the landing on focus shooting from so far away and running manual focus, but the purpose of this was to shoot video. It wasn't to shoot stills. So as the focus had been kind of coming in and out, there could be a little bit better shot of her. If I go back over to this sequence, it's still generating the peak files for the other one, so it's not going to play it. But thanks for watching. So what you've just seen is how to export still images from 2 different types of video sequences using Adobe Premiere. And my name is Mr. Goetz.